my boyfriend cheated on me with the girl best friend. So a little background information, I was 17 and a junior in high school, and my boyfriend and I had been dating for a year. But just a little backstory about when we got together. So there were definitely some red flags that I missed, okay? One of them being that he had a girl best friend. And I don't care what y'all have to say if that makes me insecure or what, but coming from someone who has been the girl best friend, I knew this was not good at all. Especially whenever we first started dating and she was still being super friendly with him, meaning she would hold his hand, she would hang on him 24/7. And when I told him I was super uncomfortable with that and I felt like there needed to be some boundaries, he was like, yeah, I told you what it was whenever we got together. So if you don't like that, then just break up with me. Looking back on it now, that was also a red flag because I feel like he was telling me to break up with him so that way he didn't have to break up with me, like for part 2. Part 2 about how my boyfriend cheated on me with the girl best friend. So like I said, she would still hang all over him and he pretty much told me, if you don't like that, then you can leave. Obviously, I did not want to leave because I liked him and he was my boyfriend. So I just kept putting up with it, and eventually, we got 6 months into our relationship. So at that point, I'm thinking maybe I have a little bit more authority, to be like, hey, I don't like the way that she acts around you. You guys can't hang out like that anymore. And they would hang out alone together. He would take her to dinner, which I literally tried telling him that the stuff that they do together is relationship stuff. And he was like, that's not true at all because we did all this stuff before you and I even got together. So anyways, like I said, 6 months in, I'm like, hey, I don't like the way that you guys are hanging around each other. Once again, he gives me the same excuse. So he pretty much said that he didn't care. And the one night him and I were supposed to hang out, but he canceled on me last minute. And her and I didn't get along and she never Snapchatted me before, but then I get a Snapchat of her and him making out at his house.
Am I wrong for using my boyfriend's toothbrush to clean the toilet whenever I get mad at him? Anytime I get mad at him, I just find little ways to sabotage him. Disclaimer, is not my story time, send me on Instagram. My boyfriend and I have been together for 2 years. From the beginning of the relationship, I had to chase him. He was dating a few girls when I first met him, but I managed to bag him. The problem is that he knows that I was the one that was chasing him. He never had to court me or anything, so he knows he can get away with a lot. For example, we live together and he never cleans the apartment. He automatically assumes that I will do his laundry, his cooking, and cleaning. I have to make the bed every single morning when we both get up. I have to make him his breakfast and literally be his mother the entire day. Worst of all, we've both been working from home because of COVID. So this means I have to cater to him all day long, even when I'm in my meetings. And because I don't want to cause any fights or confront him about it, I started to retaliate in my own way. Number 1, I started cleaning the toilet with his toothbrush. Sounds terrible, I know. I need some way to release this anger though. It gets worse. Part 2 is up. Because he uses me as his personal maid, I had to find a way to retaliate. Using his toothbrush on the toilet was the clear answer. But it didn't stop there. Anytime he would leave his dishes unclean or ask me to do his laundry, I started to do other things. Recently, I've been putting dairy in his food, which I know he can't have because it gives him the runs. I switched out his special shampoo for regular old Dollar Tree shampoo. Anytime his packages would arrive, I would just hide them somewhere in the apartment. And whenever he would go crazy waiting for it, I would finally say, oh, this package? Oh, that's been here for like 4 days already. The look on his face was so worth it. A few nights ago, after I worked all day and cleaned and made him his food, he asked me for a massage. By the way, it was 7 p.m. and I was finally ready to relax myself. So I told him that I didn't feel like it because I was tired. Instead, I poured myself a glass of wine, sat down on the couch and started watching a movie. He decided to throw a tantrum. He stood in front of the TV and asked me for a massage again. I mean, he's a grown man. Part 3 is up. After he stood in front of the TV blocking my view, he asked me for a massage a second time. And once again, I said, no, I'm tired. Then he starts complaining about the lunch I made him. He said the pasta was overcooked and the sauce tasted weird, which it probably did because I did put dairy in it. Instead of holding my ground, I told him fine. And I proceeded to give him a 30-minute massage when I was so tired myself. I'm sure you're wondering if I love him. The answer is yes. I love him very much, which is why I don't want to break up with him, but I'm really close to having had enough. He never offers to help me. He never offers me a massage. He expects me to clean and do everything for him. When I've asked him for help, he doesn't really want to. So I don't think he's gonna change that part of himself. But I do have fun with him and he's an amazing guy. I don't know what to do. Should I leave him? Should I stay? Or do you guys have any ideas on what sabotages I could do next? Help a girl out. Bye.
Am I wrong for telling my dad that if he chooses to go to my stepbrother's graduation, then he better forget about me? I, 18 female, am an only child, and my parents divorced when I was 8. My dad remarried when I was 12, and for a while, everything was fine. But after a few years of living there with them, I started to notice that my dad preferred my stepbrother. They did more things together, and he started to ditch me to go to his games, his plays, his tournaments, etc. For every 10 things I invited him to, he only attended 1 to 2. His wife always gave excuses. Oh, my son is younger than you. They are really close. His dad is not involved in his life. and told me that at least I was lucky enough to have a dad with me, and specifically one who was willing to share his love. When I was 13, my mother applied for sole custody and won. Only then did I see my dad being hurt that I was being taken away. I started to spend time with my dad, but only if he picked me up to do it. He still missed most of my things, and I've always resented him and his family for it. Since this is my last year, I had a lot of significant activities. I had my last debate, my last volleyball game, I won best essay in my class, got into Best 20 alumni, and finally went to pick my prom dress. Some, if not all of these things he missed because he was working or attending something regarding his family, and I can't have it anymore. My graduation is December 15th, the same as my stepbrother's elementary school, and when I told my dad, he said that he would see if he could make it, which meant he wouldn't, so I came clear. I said that while graduating elementary school is nice, I'm graduating high school and I'm on my way to university, so he can't really compare those things, and if he chooses my stepbrother's graduation, he better forget about me. His wife flipped and told me that I was taking my stepbrother's dad away from a big day and I was being a spoiled brat. I told her that I couldn't be a spoiled brat if I was being ignored the whole time and that I wasn't talking to her. My dad looked shocked, so I said that he could be there for once in his life or he could miss me forever and left. But now that I've cooled off, I started to feel bad. I love my dad to pieces and I just want him to be there for me too, and I surely don't want to hurt my stepbrother. Am I wrong for acting how I did because he's paying half of my college fund and I gave him an ultimatum? Plus, my dad is not prone to confrontation while my mother and I are.
Hey y'all, back at it again with a story time. It's been a long time and y'all gonna want to hear this one. So as you guys know, me and my mom's relationship has kind of always been interesting, toxic, whatever you want to call it. She was really like overprotective and like all that. But let me tell y'all about something that had happened before I was even in my teenage years. Okay, so I was 9 years old. I was in the 3rd grade and I had an audition for Disney. Also, when I was little, I was in pageants, I was in shoots, like my mom put me in modeling, all that. So like this was something that I've been knew that I was gonna do since I was little. So a Disney audition is a big deal, y'all, right? Right. So I had a Disney audition, right? So I've always wanted bangs, right? So the morning of, I'm getting ready, I'm super excited, and I'm like, I need a new look. I'm gonna cut myself bangs. You wanna tell me why I left all the hair in the sink? So I'm like, okay, Mom, ready to go. And then she's like, did you just cut your hair? I'm like, cut my hair? What? No. Scared as hell, y'all, knowing damn well I got curly hair and cricket ass bangs. Like, what? Part 2, and my mom would throw me down the stairs when I cut my hair. So I'm lying, knowing dang well, like, she gonna go and look in the sink and obviously see that all the hair's in it. So instantly, y'all, the only thing she said was, so you lied to me. Like, I don't know, what would you call it? Like, what else am I supposed to do? So then it was like, no conversation, no talking, like, no nothing. She was pulling my hair, she was slapping me, she was doing all that. But like, it was like overboard for me just cutting my hair. Like, it's my hair, it's not your hair. And you wasn't gonna do it for me, so you thought I was just gonna sit here and be like, okay, I'm not gonna have no. So she gave me, right? I'm trying to protect myself. I'm over here like, I got an audition. Like, at the time, we was in an upstairs, downstairs condo, right? And when she was hitting me and stuff, that was at the top of the stairs, right? Some way, somehow, I end up rolling all the way down the stairs, and I hit my head at the bottom, like. And in case y'all couldn't tell, I didn't go to my audition.